Grody, to the max, she said. Like these space pet owners never pick up from their space pups. I'm gonna be sick. Totally like clean up and gag me with a spoon. Captain Cool had accidentally on purpose walked, led her into the Spaceglaze pet walk platform. Hearing that, Captain Cool searched his pocket, but again he had no silverware. Linda looked at Captain Cool like he was the most clueless person on the planet, but they were in space. She knew it was up to her. That made her feel down. Still angry, she scraped the poo from her space boots from God knows what space pet. There were 92 million different pets and breeds in the remote galaxy, but only one flea collar. It would be hard to trace down the owner, especially since they had both failed art. Meanwhile, the pirate fleet had reached the rings of Planet Mirage. It was beautiful, but worthless. The pirates didn't know, though they were in the know. They were too stricken by gold fever that had one cure, prison, but lots of others. The pirates couldn't wait, but moved impatiently. Gold fever was infectiously non infectious, unless you had the greed gene that was uniquely common. Claims on Planet Mirage were non existent, only because most were embarrassed. Soon there were over 4,000 claims, from Fake Goldfield to the Gold Rush Flats, that were all uphill. Before everyone knew it, but didn't know what, the entire Space Force fleet arrived, even though some didn't go. The goal was to surround the planet, but only to the left side. The pirates were trapped, but were free to roam the planet. Seeing the tons of fake treasure made the pirates go nuts, but with sour grapes. They were so fooled by the gold, they became wise. Every pirate wanted to get the best gold field in the worst way. They were so busy fighting amongst themselves it appeared peaceful. Back on Spaceglaze, Captain Cool had completed his research, which he had done none. Linda walked, then put her hands on her hips with a wave of her hand. She handed a paper to Cool, who took it warmly. Aha, Cool said. I've found the secret, Linda, even though I wasn't looking. The paper read in an unreadable way that new pirates hit by the cannon would go back to normal, even if they were anything but. They only had 5 days to get their tattoo, so slowly the effects started to wear off, even though they refused to wear it. Soon after, all the former pirates lost their pirate patch, wooden leg, and speaking like their mouths were full of marbles. Slowly, in a quick way, Space Glaze came back to normal in an abnormal way. Well, the donut shop, the theme park, the hotel called Spaced Out, the restaurant called Better Than Nothing. Captain Cool became Colonel Cool. Lieutenant Linda Lazybottom became Captain Lazybottoms. Of course, Cool tried to take all the credit, but since he had 3 timeshares, he was denied. At the reward ceremony, every time Cool took the glory, Linda would reply, as if, yes, sure, no way, oh, gag me with a spoon. Finally, Cool agreed to share the credit with Linda, but only if she took one of his timeshares. On Planet Mirage, the pirates were still going crazy with gold fever. They gathered all the loot and prepared to head for the Pawn Store Galaxy, then tried to take off, but realized the space fleet was out there and put it back on. A few got through from only being surrounded on the side. They reached Pawn Galaxy and were laughed at so hard they realized their gold was as real as Linda's nails. Cops from Copsylvania chased them back to Mirage. The fleet now had the planet blocked in squares. Mirage now became Planet Pirate Prison. It was all over in an unfinished way. Spaceglaze began shooting out donuts at the speed of light, but in a heavy manner. The space tourists returned, but they didn't have their receipts. The theme park, the restaurant, the donut hole out of control was back, but not forth, and no one from any planet of the 200 billion galaxies was going to cramp its style, even if it had none. The end.